Hey y'all, it's Jasmine Okoli. So I wanted to make a video for you. This is something very personal to me. And I wanted to talk to you about transition. I wanted to make a video about this because this is something that is very personal that I'm currently going through right now. I just want to encourage people that are currently going through a transition right now that you're not alone, you're not by yourself, and do not quit. Plenty of times while I'm going through transition, I have thoughts of, why am I doing this? Where am I going? What's the next step? Am I going the right way? Why is this taking so long? Am I doing the right thing? And in the midst of all that, I feel frustration, anger, and I feel the urge to quit. What I have to say to you is do not quit. You've come too far, you've been through too much, and you waited too long to get to where you are right now. Especially since you want to quit, and this is only temporary frustration, and God wants to bless you with something that's so big, that's so grand, and that's going to bless not only you, but your children and your children's children, and it's going to send you 20, 50 years down the line, and that is going to break family curses in your family. That's going to break strongholds and chains that have been binding you for years. All I have to say to you today is do not quit. Don't die in the transition. I know the feeling of being tired. I know the feeling of wanting to quit in the test. I know the pain when you just want to quit because the test is just too overbearing and you feel like enough is enough. I want this to be over. I'm done. I'm walking away from this, Lord. I'm tried, but I just cannot do it. I know how it is when God is feeding you dreams and visions and you're like, okay, God, you're giving me all this. I'm ready. Let's go. And you run out there and you do it and doesn't happen like how you visioned and how you thought it would, and God has another thing in mind how he wants to do it, and you're just like, hold up, God, why is this happening? Some of the hardest challenges I think I faced in the midst of transition and currently what I'm facing now is that I have to learn how to take my hands off of what God is trying to bless me. I have to let go. Let go and let God have total control. Let him do it and let him show me what he wants to show me and teach me what he wants to teach me. That's hard for me because I'm a fixer. I like to fix things. I like to know the details. I like to know where we're going, how we're going to do it, what we're going to do. And that's just not how God works. You know, I'm a go-getter. So when God says, I need you to sit down, Jasmine, it's hard for me because I'm like, okay, how can you move when you're sitting down? But what I've learned in the midst of all this is there are blessings in sitting down and stillness. While you're in transition, God is trying to teach you and prepare you for what's to come. And how can he prepare you if you're running around trying to do this and that and trying to figure it out, and you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off, and he's trying just to get you to be still and sit down. You think being still, God is not answering, but in realness, he is. Trusting God when you don't see the way and it doesn't make sense, that's what faith is. Don't try to understand it because there are some things that are not meant for us to understand. My best logical thinking cannot even equate to God's thinking at all. That is why you have to trust him and walk by faith and not by sight. Know that if you're in transition, you're not alone. God is walking with you and he is in the midst of all that. And don't ever think that you are alone at all. Know that when you're in transition, know that you're not where you used to be, which is a blessing, but also know that God has you on your way to bigger blessings and bigger things. It's okay to cry. I've cried myself to sleep plenty of times. I've walked my bedroom, I've walked my living room, I've walked my whole house wondering, God, what is it? What are we doing? Like, why am I waiting? Why am I in this holding pattern for so long? But in the midst of me wanting to quit, there's something nudging me inside, something nudging me in my spirit that says, don't quit, keep going. Keep trying. You're right around the corner from your blessing. Believe what God has for you is right around the corner. I know you may feel like you're suffering, but suffering is part of the process. I hate that part of the process, but it is part of the process. You cannot have success without suffering. Know that when you're suffering and you feel all that tension and you feel all that stress and you feel all that tightness and you feel like that burden and that weight, know that you're just in a cocoon. You're not a caterpillar where you used to be, and you're not a butterfly where you're going to be. You're just in a cocoon. And God is teaching you and pouring into you all the lessons he wants you to know. Everything he needs you to learn so that way you can be prepared for that blessing and be that butterfly. But he has to have you in that cocoon first and mold you and shape you, because a blessing too soon is not a blessing. I also have to remember that God will not put more on me than I can bear. His strength is made perfect in my weakness. Know that God has seen every tear. He has heard every prayer. The prayers that you pray, while you're on your knees. The prayers that you pray while you're walking and you're saying little prayers in your mind underneath your breath while you're driving to work. God has heard all those prayers, and he wants to give you the desires of your heart, and he wants to bless you. That career you want, the house you want, the baby that you wanted, the promotion that you wanted on your job, the bills that you want paid, to have all your student loans cleared off your record, to be debt free, the car that you've been praying for because your car has been messed up for months, that peace that you've been praying for over your life. It is all coming. God is going to give you all those blessings plus more. He wants to open up the floodgates and bless you with abundance and have rain of blessings rain down on your life. The crazy thing is that you're going through transition, but God already sees the victory and sees you victorious at the end of the blessing. Keep on going and keep on fighting during your transition. Even if you don't see a way, even if you don't know the way, just keep on going. Those nudges that you feel, keep going. I know it's because God has sent me through many transitions in my life. I know how it is to want to buckle and just be like, Lord, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this no more. I'm just totally through. But my best prayer time has been when I'm going through transition. I shut everything out that is in the world just down. I shut it all down. Even my friends and my family be like, Jasmine, you are hard to get to sometimes. You don't answer no phone calls. You don't do anything. And that's just because I'm trying to be focused and disciplined and concentrate fully on what God is trying to tell me. And I'm trying to clear out everything so that way I can hear what God wants me to hear. I'm like this because I want my ear and my spirit to be open and available and ready for whatever God is trying to tell me, and be able to move and not be so focused on other things that God just cannot get to. How can you want to move to the next level and you're not making yourself available to God to speak to you? Transitions are not bad. It's just movement and change. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, nobody likes it. Yes, it's a process, but I'd rather be moving and uncomfortable rather than years go by and because I didn't want to change, I'm still in the same place years down the line. All the voices that are in your head that's telling you, I can't do it, this is for nothing, you're wasting your time, turn them off. Speak to yourself every day, sometimes multiple times a day, and say, I'm going to make it. I am blessed and highly favored. The blessing is right around the corner. This is just a test. I am learning, and I'm going to learn something through this test. That way I will not go through it again, and God wants to bless me. Encourage yourself daily, because the blessing God has for you is going to be so big and so great that he would not be spending this much time but trying to prepare you for a blessing that is so small. God has planted seeds in you, and they are your gifts, and your gifts will make room for you. Me and you both are just in transition. I hope this video helped you. Know that you're not by yourself and that God wants to bless you. He hears you and sees you, and he's going to bless you. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.